Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart, 1308. And we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat. Hey, Cat.
Hello.
And yeah, we are here. Let me get into today's ad read. Today's breakfast with the Kush Gang is going to be 3 bottles of drip. Just because I really,
3?
yeah, you know,
Doesn't that usually have enough sugar to set you off after 1?
the sugar. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of sugar. But because it just slides right down my throat and I don't actually taste it, it's pretty quick. So I do okay with it. It's the tasting that much sugar that early in the day. That and it's mixed with the sour blue raspberry flavor that really offsets the sugar. That's 500 milligrams per bottle, by the way. So,
Dear, oh dear.
brought to you by the Kush Gang Snacks, findable on Instagram at KGSnacks434, where you can also find our other sponsors, Firehouse, spelled with a Z, where there's smoke, there's fire. Firehouse, spelled with Z. Findable on Instagram at Firehouse, spelled with a Z. Not to be confused with Firehouse Subs. Chris into 386.
Although, if they would like to sponsor the show, we are open to that. Or at least I'm open to that, because I like their subs.
I have never had their subs.
One of Mom's ex-bus driver friends used to work there before she moved away, and we would go visit her, and they had good food.
Well, I mean, at least they have good food. According to a lot of people. Chris into 386 seems to really like them, so, you know, that says something. And our other sponsor, whose pre-rolls we will be smoking today, is The Hidden Leaf, 105 West Main Street, downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, on the downtown mall. Above the bricks, Suite 200. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. A bud, and the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. Whew, flavor. Oh, that takes me to Flavor Town. Also, they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. You can find both Firehouse and Kush Gang at Frosty Fridays, held at the Hidden Leaf, every Friday at 6 p.m. We will, note of disclaimer, we will be covering some political stories today, I am sure. We will be expressing some political opinions today, I am sure. Those opinions belong to us, the expressor of the opinion, the channel, and or the parent company, but do not necessarily belong to any of our advertisers, including Hidden Leaf, Firehouse, and Kush Gang. I do believe that's the ad read done.
It's at least how it's getting done today.
I believe so. See, it's not the sugar. It's the massive amount of flavor.
Mmm.
I feel the need to chase it with something heavy. Or not heavy, healthy.
So do I need to like blend up some kale and send you a kale shot?
Avocado oil.
Well, that works too. Less repulsive than
Kale shot.
blended kale.
And this is a avocado oil tincture available at the Hidden Leaf. 1,000 milligrams per bottle.
Silly question, because I do not know very much about the plants themselves.
Yes.
Could you make a salad out of the leaves, or are the leaves like not edible?
The leaves are edible. You can make a salad out of the leaves. The leaves don't have a whole lot of THC in them.
I didn't expect them to. It was just the thought of the train of thought was kale shot, kale salad, and the
Yeah.
version of kale salad that I was shown how to make, which I can't say the name for online because we'll get canceled. And from there, it was like,
I'm
can you
worried.
use? You know, it's like I wonder if you could make kind of the same sort of salad out of cannabis leaves because
Yeah,
they kind of remind me of
they're
kale in
edible.
shape.
They don't taste great, but they're edible.
We're not going to say anything about the other plant anyway. No, well, you make the particular salad. You take kale and you mix in. You pour orange juice and salt over it, and then you just keep rubbing it until it kind of wilts down from the acid and the friction. And then after it's about as wilty as you want, you add oil, which stops the acid from doing what it's doing. And then you mix in things like whatever kind of nut you want, dried fruit of some sort. Usually, the orange craisin things are pretty good.
Okay.
And that's your salad. You know, you've got the greens. It's already got a dressing that's made out of orange juice and
And
oil,
oil.
and it's got salt, and you've got the other things that you're mixing into it.
That sounds acceptable.
It is. It can be.
I feel like I mean, yeah, the leaves would be fine for that. Although harvesting the leaves to do this, what you would want to do, because the leaves that you would think you'd make a salad with are gonna be, a good deal of them aren't gonna be left on the plant by the time it's ready to harvest. And the thing is, before you harvest, you have to flush with clean water for 2 weeks. That 2 weeks before harvest, you want to flush your plants with absolutely clean water.
I'm sorry. I now have baby ducky in my head going, plant go down the hole.
Fair, but no.
I get it.
Because
It's
you
just
want to get all of the whatever fertilizer you're using out of the plant.
okay. That makes sense.
Right.
So you're okay.
So it's because it will not taste good, it will not smell good, it will not be good. You don't really want those fertilizer, like the terroir that those fertilizers add is not pleasant. So, you know, any leaves left on after that, yeah, you could probably put them in a salad. I mean, I've seen cooking shows where they use them as garnishes and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that too. Well, I thought I saw that too on the one.
That one weed-based cooking show that was like that.
Yeah.
That just did not last.
I mean, I appreciate the premise of the show, but your judges by the end of a single shooting day
Yeah,
are
right.
going to be worthless for
Or
anything else.
or they're not gonna be able to tell how strong any given dish is.
Exactly.
That was my problem with it is I'm looking at these dishes going, all right, but this isn't gonna get me high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at those judges going, man, y'all a bunch of lightweights.
They were lightweights, and if you watched throughout an episode, they actually took an entire day to shoot each episode because the light changed noticeably between each dish because they were doing this outside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Versus something like Chopped, where they're honestly doing most of that in like 3 hours, and then they're resetting and doing
right,
the next episode. This
right.
one they actually had to take all bloody day.
Well, I mean, again, I'm not surprised. And
Which would
it is also hard to, if you get high from eating weed. I mean, I will. By the end of the show, I'll be high, because 1,500 milligrams is a heroic dose for anyone. But, your experience of what the food tastes like is going to be different if you're high. I remember back when I used to actually get that kind of high, I remember really tasting food, and the flavor really came through, man. Dude, you're eating a mayo sandwich. There is no flavor.
there's a reason why there are certain sandwich and or pairings that happen
Stoner
that only
pairings.
happen because of that.
I mean, yeah, there are. And some of them are actually turn out to be actually good, and
They
some of
do.
them don't. I will say, Kipper Snacks, squeezy cheese, and saltine crackers is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I don't remember what mix of herbs I put together, but I made a really simple pasta with a mix of herbs and a little bit of olive oil, and some Romano cheese. And I remember it being awful. It was whatever mix of herbs I put together did not go together in that moment. So, sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you get bad stuff.
The one that always puzzled me was someone eating ramen noodles dry and sprinkling the seasoning packet over top of them and eating it like a
Popcorn.
giant rice cake, and I'm like,
I
I has questions on this one because this just doesn't look. No, no,
I've
this does not
done
look.
that. I do that. And it's not a high thing. I have very little money. I need this ramen to fully fill me up. I also don't have a way of boiling water or serving it. So, yeah, I mean, dry ramen is a thing. What I used to do is smash it up in the package
Mm-hmm.
and then open the package, leave it all in, pour the flavor pouch into the package, shake it up, and then eat
Uh-huh.
it like, like crisps or
That
popcorn or.
that makes sense because then it's like snack mix. I can understand that. I'm thinking more along lines of I've seen just biting off of the end of it like it's a giant piece of toast.
Oh,
So like that watching you hurts the roof of my mouth. I
I
can't.
mean, yeah, but that person may just not have a sensitive face.
Possible. It is entirely possible. Cause like, okay.
That just, yeah, that, I mean, there are easier ways to do that, dude. But if that's how he does it, that's how he does it.
Mhm. So,
Again, I don't
silly
think that's a
questions.
stoner thing. I think that's a
Hungry thing. That's fair.
convenience.
Alright, so I did some actual homework this week and worked on pulling together some stories for you.
I saw
I
that.
just finished adding one to the list
Oh
because it's
boy.
local and it's kind of nice to see. It's a pair of stories that kind of connect to each other.
All right, all right. Uh, I noticed that the first story that you pulled up is one that I'm very interested in. The thing is, okay, I've been hearing about this on NPR, and I'd hear them
Yeah.
tease it, and then I'd have to get out of the car and go do something when they were going to talk about it. So I have no idea why this is happening. I
I
just
don't
know it's been
either.
happening.
I don't either. I have been trying to catch where they've said why this week, and I haven't been able to catch where the why actually comes in. Just that, oh, yes, there is a concern. We're gonna have to take your. We're
Yep.
gonna have to exchange this.
So, what we are talking about is Olympic bosses investigate why medals are breaking. The Olympic medals have been breaking, snapping,
Hmm.
dropping off of their ribbons. And
The
I
the
have
connection
just,
piece.
yeah. And I have questions. This article is by Emma Smith
Hmm.
of the BBC.
Yep.
Here we go. Milan Cortina 2026. Organizers say they are looking closely at why Olympic medals are breaking after several athletes experienced issues with theirs. Two of the USA's gold medalists, Breezy Johnson and Elisa Liu, revealed the ribbon had come away from the medal soon after they received their prize. Breezy Johnson, just to step away from this for a second and talk about Breezy Johnson.
Hmm.
Talk about someone stepping from shadow to spotlight. I mean, I have a lot of empathy for what Breezy's teammate, the name's not there all of a sudden. The teammate, she's like the world's greatest downhill skier.
Was it Pete? No, it wasn't Peekaboo. It was the other one.
Right.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay
Yes.
Johnson?
No.
No.
But
Uh,
in any case, she is far and away the best downhill skier in the world. Absolutely, and I mean still the best. She has been
Lindsey Vaughn.
Lindsey Vaughn. She has been blowing away the competition everywhere except the Olympics. The Olympics have just been, and it's not all Olympics, it's just these last two Winter Olympics have been the bane of her career, which has given Breezy
Yep.
Johnson just enough room to step out and show, step out and serve. And you know, I feel terrible for Lindsey Vonn because that is what she has been going through has been rough. But I think it's great that Breezy Johnson has been able to step out and serve like that. So yeah, that's just sort of quick note on the Olympics there. Also, I found out that yeah, and they breezed past this when they were talking about it on NPR, but they were talking about her and they were mentioning all of the things that have gone wrong
Yeah.
for her. And like they absolutely just breezed past the getting stabbed in the abdomen by one of the gates.
Yep.
By one of those bendy flagpole, like, yeah, like, and that's, I mean, amongst the other awful things that have happened to her off the slopes. That's just sort of, oh yeah, that happened too.
There's honestly, between this Olympics and the last one, there's been enough unfortunate incidents that happened to and around her
Yep.
to give conspiracy theorists a decent leg to stand on.
I'm sure after listening to excerpts of her podcast on the NPR show, I don't think it's conspiracy. I think it's, I mean, unless the whole thing started and really the conspiracy sort of ended when somebody pushed her dad off a roof. I actually think her dad fell off the roof. I think it was a tragic accident
Oh yeah.
that unnerved her and unseated her, and
Which
you know,
is understandable. I mean,
and then everything else just snowballed from that. And, you know, that is really, when you look at what happened to her career after that, it's like, oh, yeah, I get it. I get it now. So I really don't think it was conspiracies this time. This one, I don't think it was
I don't think it
conspiracy.
is either, but there's definitely enough things to make a conspiracy theorist look
Yes.
more rational than usual.
You know, conspiracy theorists are having their day in the sun anyway. Turns out there
Oh
is.
my god.
Right. Like, turns out there was that thing that they were. That elite ring of kitty diddling,
PDF
powerful.
file smuggling.
Right. Powerful people. And yeah. Just not it wasn't the ones they thought. It was sort of
As far as we know
inverted.
yet.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm sure it was the ones they thought too. I really don't think actually no. I doubt Hillary had anything to do with it. I really do doubt Hillary had anything to do with it. I think
Fair.
in this case her hands are probably clean. And there's a lot of people that
However,
they tacked onto it to make them go, oh, yeah, this person must have done it too, just so that it, they could make an enemy out of somebody.
but it has gotten big enough that you've got, was it in Norway? They had an elected official that as soon as his whatever run of immunity had finally ended, they arrested him.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got a sultan has resigned, and you've got other people that have resigned because their people are like, we
This
see you.
this has done more damage overseas than it's done here.
Which is very sad.
And somehow not at all surprising.
No, because you had what's her face, Bondi, actually sitting there in front of Congress saying, "Well, if we prosecuted everybody, the whole system would collapse." That's
Right.
your point. That's your proof. If that's the case, that means your whole system is broken and it should collapse.
Right. So I just realized that we've just done what NPR has been doing.
What?
We teased the metal story and then we went somewhere else.
We did, but there's really and truly, we don't have an answer for why they're breaking right now. We just know that it's happening where the ribbon connects to the metal, and that it's something to do with that connection and the design of it that's failing. We don't know why. We haven't seen any good pictures of the broken part of the metal, and the one story that I read, that the medalist had been had just been given it and had like walked away from the podium and was kind of doing little jumping up and down, and it just fell and dented.
Oh.
And she's like, can't I just keep it? I don't have to hang it off of the ribbon. Can't I just keep it? And they're like, no, we need you to give that back so that we can fix it and we'll give you a new one. But I'm attached. It's okay. They're like, no,
I don't need a ribbon. Yeah, my metal don't need a ribbon. There it is.
Yeah.
But, huh? No more. All right, here we are. It has not been confirmed whether athletes will receive placement medals.
I think most recent story, because this is from earlier this week. It was like Monday is when I picked that one. I think as of like yesterday, they're saying they're going to get replacement medals because they don't like how it's been breaking and denting.
I mean,
Because, no.
I wonder if they're trying to use something less, like if the connective piece is not gold, but the metal is gold. I don't know.
I'm wondering if they chose a gold that was too soft.
I mean, that's entirely possible too.
I mean, there's so many design choices they could have made that could have it. Up to and including they could be using a little teeny tiny single point connection that is just not up to handling the weight of actually supporting it while in movement.
Yeah.
And we've seen before metal design, even when reviewed multiple times by people, things happen. Because we saw it with the Summer Olympics in Paris, where the little tiny bits of the Eiffel Tower that were repaired and integrated into, those are now rusting.
I mean, okay.
I mean, there were ways that you could have incorporated it without.
It seems to me also that that would be a bimetal connection, because these are supposed to actually be gold.
Yep.
And the Eiffel Tower is
Not.
steel.
Yep.
And usually where there's a bimetal connection, some form of oxidation occurs.
Which is understandable. And if I were the one in charge of doing it, what I would have done was
Corrosion.
taken my little
That was the
my
word I
little
was looking
sliver of Eiffel Tower and set it in resin, and then formed a bezel out of the gold metal and set that in there like a gemstone.
for. I mean, yeah, I think that would have been the smart way of going, one of the smart ways of going, or setting it in glass.
I mean, that would work too.
Leaded glass like crystal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Swarovski would have helped with that, I'm sure.
I'm sure. So,
But so you got those. Then we had whatever thing was happening down in Florida. Remember with the sunshine medals, the ones that they were telling athletes to please put them in your checked bags because the airport will not let you take them on the plane because they count them as a sharp object because they were sharp objects.
I vaguely remember that, but like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like
Wow.
it takes a bit to craft one of these things, and you would think somewhere in the database of things they've got, okay, we need to make the hanger look like this so it actually works.
Yeah, you'd think.
But,
You'd think.
yeah. So, yes.
So, let's see. Next up.
Yep.
Ilya Malinin lands 1 foot backflip, wins gold for Team USA.
Yep.
That sounds interesting.
Does it mention where he's from on that one? Or is it just the
Oh, I don't know.
If it doesn't mention, he's from Fairfax.
Oh, right down the road.
Yeah,
He's from the area.
he is.
So, Ilya Malinin secured gold for Team USA. There was no quad axle from the quad god, but he pulled off a one-footed backflip that stunned the crowd and gave his country back-to-back team titles. The USA and Japan were tied for first place going into the final programs of the team event. Malinin performed in the men's free skate, and of the team event Sunday, February 8th, he decided to go for the triple axel instead and had a stumble that looked like it might doom him. Instead, he powered through and delivered the sequence of the night with a quad Salchow and triple axel, and then for good measure did the backflip that brought everyone to their feet.
Yep.
It was as strong a finish as you can get, and he earned a whopping score of 200.03 with a 110.32 technical score and an 89.71 points from the component. Japan's Shun Sato closed the night with a score of 194.86, a technical score of 106.49, and component of 88.37, giving Japan the silver medal.
Yep. I am weird enough and old enough that I remember when, after the Winter Olympics, they used to have all of the figure skating fancy stuff that they would do in between on TV. So I vaguely remember the first time someone did a backflip and everybody being surprised and upset. And how later on they were saying, you can't do that, that's illegal.
Interesting.
And according to what I found, they only made that kind of thing a legal move like last year before.
Really?
Really. It was like, I forget who did it the first time, but she did it. And then it was like the next Winter Olympics or qualifying for the Winter Olympics, something like that. Some point period later, someone else did it. And that's where they're like, nope, you can't. And then down the road, someone did it like around the previous Winter Olympics. And they said, fine, we're going to allow it. But you have to land on one foot.
Wow. Why?
Keeping in mind, this is paraphrased and vaguely remembered stuff, so I could have...
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to answer the questions I have.
I can try, but...
Why 1 foot?
Because all of the other skating jumps have to be landed 1 foot. You're not allowed to land on 2 feet.
Okay. Okay. I guess that would be the question that I had.
Okay. Hey, I could answer it.
Yeah. Well, on to the next thing then.
Yes.
Of course we're going to talk about this. We have to talk about Melania, don't we? Johnny Greenwood, Paul Thomas Anderson want the Phantom Thread score axed from Melania.
Yes.
I have no idea what the Phantom Thread score is. Oh, it's the score to the movie. These guys are the musicians who Radiohead's Johnny Greenwood and director Paul Thomas Anderson have asked that a portion of the score from Phantom Thread be removed from Brett Ratner's new documentary about Melania Trump. Aha! Okay. That makes a lot of sense. While Melania has its own score composed by Tony Neiman, it also features several prominent needle drops, including a snippet of Greenwood's Oscar-nominated Phantom Thread score. But in a new statement, Greenwood and Anderson suggested they were not made aware of the music's use in the documentary until after it was released. While Johnny Greenwood does not own the copyright in the score, Universal failed to consult Johnny on this third-party use, which is a breach of its composer agreement, a rep said. As a result, Johnny and Paul Thomas Anderson have asked for it to be removed from the documentary. Reps from Amazon MGM, which produced Melania, as well as the Universal Pictures, did not immediately return Rolling Stone's request for comment. Along with the Phantom Thread score, Melania features songs by Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin, Elvis Presley, James Brown, and more. One particularly notable needle drop is the Rolling Stones' Gimme Shelter, which plays during the doc's opening sequence. While the Stones have repeatedly ordered President Donald Trump not to use their music at his rallies, the band does not own any of their recordings before 1971, including 1969's Gimme Shelter. Melania, which released at the end of January, cost a reported $75 million to make and market. The film's remarkably high price tag has raised questions over whether Amazon backed the project to curry favor with the Trump administration, especially because the tech giant and its founder, Jeff Bezos, have additional business with the federal government. A spokesperson for Amazon MGM previously denied any ulterior motive, saying that the company licensed the film for one reason and one reason only: because we think customers are going to love it. Melania has made about 13 million since its release 2 weeks ago. Right.
Proving how much people want to
Don't.
watch it.
Right. They don't. They don't care. They don't care at all. Melania
No.
also marks the first major project from Ratner in over 10 years. And since the director was accused of sexual assault by multiple women, he has denied allegations. As Rolling Stone previously reported, Ratner oversaw a highly disorganized, very chaotic production. As one person put it, another member of the production team added, "I feel a little bit uncomfortable with the propaganda element of this, but Brett Ratner was the worst part of working on this project." Wow. So that's yeah. That has some
Yeah.
yeah. I I mean, okay, the number of artists who have been like, just don't, please don't.
Yep. There
And he
is just such.
continues.
They they both continue. Um.
Yeah. That just is yeah.
It's special, isn't it? Very, very special.
It is. It is. I'll
Ah, yes, let me fix that.
on to
So I
the
can see
next
all the things.
on to the next thing, I
Fixing.
suppose. Halftime show.
Yep.
We've got a decent amount to get through, so
Yep.
how many people watched the TP USA halftime show? How 2026 Super Bowl alternative compared to Bad Bunny?
Oh yeah. Because
And there we see a very sad and tired old man.
yeah.
And he may not be tired. I think we're just tired of him.
Fair.
As Bad Bunny was performing the official Super Bowl 60 halftime show, there was an alternative option available for those who weren't interested. Turning Point USA produced its own halftime show featuring Kid Rock, Lee Brice, Bradley Gilbert, and Gabby Barrett. Who? The show was pretty popular for its own right, with the various TPUSA channels producing a respectable number of viewers.
Uh-huh.
Uh
Lip
huh.
syncing and all.
Who? This is just Daniel Chavkin.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't. This is
The
just
other
from MSN. This is not from any other.
True. The other, I believe the other link that I put has got, is by NBC
Yeah,
actually
this.
saying,
Okay.
so one link is from totalsports.com, their particular numbers. The other one is the official numbers released by NBC for what their viewership was during the halftime show.
We're gonna check somebody a little less glazing the TPUSA halftime show.
No, well, the thing is even though they're glazing, look at the number disparity. That is the entire reason for that article, is the sheer
All
number
right.
disparity that they can't cover up.
All right, let's talk about that real quick. Let's see what they say. I mean, yeah. Viewership for the Turning Point USA halftime show on YouTube peaked around 5.2 million people, according to the live stream. I mean, I guess that is respectable,
Yeah,
as we have 4 viewers right now.
5. We have 5,
5?
technically.
Okay.
The little people icon says 5.
Oh, mine says 4.
Mine
For
just
most-
refreshed.
For most of the show on YouTube, the viewership hovered between 4 and 5 million fans as Turning Point USA produced a 25-minute halftime show featuring Kid Rock by blah 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 blah. The feed topped 12 million total viewers by the end of Super Bowl 60. I mean,
So I'm guessing they had 12 million turn in, look at that, and go, ew, and half of them drop out. Anyway, the next one has the actual numbers released for viewership of the Super Bowl halftime show.
the other article, because those numbers
This,
didn't sound there doesn't sound to be a disparagement. There isn't much difference between the numbers there.
that was the 5 million is just, or the 5 to 12 million is just what the Turning Point one got.
Okay.
Bad Bunny got 135 million.
Okay. Okay. How many people the Super Bowl got? Okay.
Yeah.
Every Super Bowl since it has exceeded 100 million. Official viewership numbers for Bad Bunny's Super Bowl 60 halftime show will be revealed on Monday.
So,
Official viewership, exceeded 100 million.
look at the numbers that Kendrick Lamar got last year. I believe they've got it there in the list.
That was the Eagles Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
and they say 127.7 million.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's see what these people say. NBC reveals shocking final view. Okay, hold on. Let me switch scene here. There we go. NBC reveals shocking final viewership numbers for Bad Bunny's controversial Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny might have been the most controversial halftime show performer in recent memory. Things got pretty bad when Kendrick Lamar's announcement, but it never came close to this type of banter. As soon as the NFL selected his name, social media lost its mind. The anger was so intense that Turning Point USA announced a separate halftime show. In the end, all none of that mattered. Bad Bunny brought the party to Super Bowl to the Super Bowl halftime show is Sunday night. The 31-year-old Puerto Rican superstar lived up to the hype, even if you didn't understand a single word. Bad Bunny opened his performance at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, with his 2022 hit, Titi Me Pregunto. All right, let's see.
Oh yeah, respectable numbers. I can't disagree that 5 million is not respectable for reviewing on YouTube.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
For a half hour live stream on YouTube, 5 million is respectable. But when you are putting that against
135
135,
million. Yeah. Also, I would be willing to bet that Turning Point USA is not above inflating their numbers with bots.
I don't doubt it. They probably did, and that's probably why they said at one point there were this many in the stream. But what Turning Point can't do anything about is the number of people that were upset the day after over the amount of lip syncing and non-live music that they tuned in for. They tuned in for a real concert. They got lip syncing.
I mean, I hate to break it to most of those people, but a real concert, most big stadium real concerts do have a certain amount of lip syncing.
But at least they take pains to make it look real versus what happened apparently.
Right, so I get that.
They tuned in for bad lip syncing. And they missed out on certain other people appearing at the official show that were not originally on the roster for guest appearances, because they're like, you know what? I'm just going to show up.
Right.
Like,
that did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's worth thinking about how, there's still a portion of this country that is so angry that this is not the white nationalist country that they signed up for, the white Christian nationalist country that they signed up for, that it was supposed to be. They're just that this is a viable choice for them. Right. I mean, It never was supposed to be that, but after World War II. And before World War II too, but there was this sense of prosperity in this country
Mm-hmm.
for the people uh who were white, who were normal, who were of the status quo.
Who weren't
And
Japanese.
this or black
Mm.
or queer or women
Oh, definitely not the women.
or Jewish
True.
or the wrong kind of white.
Yeah, yeah, because they could have married into
Or
anything
Catholic.
else.
Catholics were still side-eyed.
Looks were side-eyed, but at least they had a cross.
Yeah, yeah,
The, you might, if you were Catholic, you might still open up the door and be sent straight to hell through the basement. But at least you had a cross to start with.
right.
Keep in mind, my mother was an escaped Catholic. I heard some interesting stories.
Although, still, Catholics weren't. In any case, there was this sense of prosperity. And, there was possibility. There was this American dream. And the American dream no longer required you to carve your future out of nothing. Now the
Mm-hmm.
American dream said if you just obey the rules, you'll be rewarded with the American dream. You no longer,
Yeah.
you still have to work for it. You have to sell your soul to your wage slave job, but you'll have a house and a wife and kids and a car and a retirement.
And we're going to take your money to fund that retirement. That's why we're doing this. So that you've got health
Right.
care, entire retirement when you get old. And old at that point was officially 50, because that's why, you retire by 65.
Right. So but this American dream was achievable to the right group of people.
Yeah.
And it was almost guaranteed. Again, to the right group of people. And this group of people, that American dream, somewhere around the late 70s and 80s, started getting further and further out of reach. And now, and I'm not saying how home ownership is impossible, but it sure ain't easy.
Well,
And there have been booms and busts in the market, and there have been times when it's been like, oh yeah, it's really easy to buy a house.
but you have to pair that with the push for people to go to college, and pair it with the student debt that comes along with that. Because if you've got student loans, they won't give you a mortgage.
Didn't know that. Interesting.
If you've got student loans, they count that as too much debt. And a lot of times, I know a couple of different doctors that they went through medical school, they did their stuff, they've been paying off their student loans, they're making money, and they think, okay, I can get a house, and they go to apply, and they're like, no, not until you pay off this debt.
Damn. I did not know that. That's in any case, my point still stands.
Mm-hmm.
This thing that was supposed to be achievable, almost guaranteed to this group of people that
Mm-hmm.
now they cannot have.
Yep.
And they see all of the people they've othered
Mm,
before to get this
yeah.
privilege, to get this thing. They see all of these groups of people starting to A, demand to be considered people,
Mm,
and B, starting to see the same level of achievement in society, whether it is that they can get a house, have a spouse, and kids, or whether it's that nobody can get a house, have a spouse, and have kids. Either way, it's too equal for the people who were before privileged, who were before promised privilege. That is where this, and I mean, it's, this is no excuse for this anger. There is no excuse for this anger. But this is
no.
where that anger is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, it's the eroding of the privilege of white mediocrity, which should never have been rewarded in the first place.
Very true.
Now, there's nothing wrong with mediocrity, says the mediocre person. You know, I see nothing wrong with mediocrity. Mediocrity shouldn't be punished, you know? But also, we've gotten to a point in the world where survival shouldn't be a meritocracy.
Yes.
And quite
Basic human
honestly,
needs should be met.
right. And honestly, it isn't a meritocracy. It's survival now is an oligarchy. I mean, survival has never been a meritocracy, not really.
Mm-hmm.
But we have, like you said, we've reached a point in the world where basic human needs should be met. We can, so we should. And so it's just this. I this level of anger that they harbor, this level of resentment,
Mm-hmm.
really bothers me and upsets me, and I think it's awful. And what makes it even worse is that I understand it. I
Mm,
see where it's coming from in their little heads.
yeah.
And I can't bridge this gap. Like, I can't be like, because if I say to them what it really is, if I'm like, look, what you're feeling is the loss of privilege. You want to be better than everybody, but you're not, and you're angry that you're not. There's no way
Yeah.
I can say that and not seem like a total jerk, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And that's not gonna help them get better,
No, it's not.
you know? So it's the thing is that the other part of this is they have they are they have been taught to argue in bad faith. They've been taught that it's okay to argue in bad faith. Their leaders
Hmm.
argue in bad faith. So there's
Yeah.
no way to address that. Again, without seeming like a jerk, there's no way to address that and to bring the argument around to good faith, to an actual good faith discussion where learning can happen. It is a difficult place to be in.
Mm,
Um, yeah, being
mm,
being able to understand what's going on in their heads and still
yeah.
being like, I can't help you.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh, darn it. But nope. I mean, I'm trying to not be a jerk about it, so there's that at least.
Here.
All
Would you
right,
like to go
next
on to the
story.
next story?
Next story. Glass for brains? What? What?
It's interesting. It's interesting.
What? Scientists intrigued by a man whose brain turned into glass. Ball, ball jar brain. What?
That's just the picture that they created.
Oh,
They actually have a picture of the brains further down
okay. I just why did they why I
to
get
catch
every
attention.
aspect of it, but why did they go with ball jar to represent glass?
Because that's an
All right.
AI image.
Oh, definitely. The
That is the only
cataclysmic
reason.
eruption of Mount
Sorry.
The cataclysmic eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD has fascinated researchers and historians for centuries. Since the early 1700s, engineers have been excavating the remnants of the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum, flash frozen in mounds of volcanic ash. And of all the narratives pulled from the rubble, one about a 20-year-old man whose brain seemingly melted into glass might be the most mystifying. A hunk of glass in the Herculaneum in the man's preserved skull was found first uncovered in 2020, coming off of the back of research that estimated temperatures in the two doomed city exceeded 900 degrees Fahrenheit at some points during the cataclysm. Researchers were puzzled because the temperature brain matter ought to melt into goo and not solidify into glass. Of the roughly 2,000 bodies exhumed from the Vesuvian ruins, only this one man's brain had been preserved this way. Courtesy of a paper published earlier this year in New England's Journal of Medicine, we can see what the glassified brain looks like. This made the question of how this unfortunate soul's head came to hold a hunk of glass something of a flashpoint for archaeologists and scientists studying the volcanic event. A number of hypotheses have come forward. One that posited the man's brain was slowly braised, like ossobuco. Now, a fresh analysis by a team of researchers at Roma Tre University has found compelling evidence that these are human brain remains composed of organic glass formed at high temperatures, a process of preservation never previously documented for human or animal tissue, neither brain or any other kind. The study is shedding new light on the process which preserved the man's brain for thousands of years, which Ars Technica notes is highly unusual. Researchers posit that the man was indeed flash fried in a rush of super hot ash as he laid in his bed, which heated his brain to the temperature required to produce molten glass, fragmenting it into chunks. Though most of the brain fragments were badly damaged, some survived total devastation thanks to unique position of the man's skull and spine at the time of his death, which also explains why he was the only Herculean man to win the glass lottery. As the air returned to an ambient temperature, it cooled rapidly by hundreds of degrees, which is when one of the young man's remaining brain chunks became a solid mass. From there, what remained of his body was buried in layers of molten ash, rock, and gas that flowed across Herculaneum at lower temps than in Pompeii, preserving the poor guy's glass brain for researchers to ogle thousands of years in the future.
I mean, at least they're honest about that part.
Wow. That was a little too... I don't know, that was a little more, like, on the nose than I was expecting from them.
I debated for about 10 minutes whether to put this in under nightmare fuel or just interesting, and eventually opted for just interesting because we don't currently live next to any volcanoes where this could happen, unless you wish to go camping out in Yellowstone.
I don't, but I mean, actually I do, but like, oh man, that's it's not nightmare fuel. It's just that yeah, like it's pretty interesting.
It is.
I mean, that is okay. That is one of the only two ways, one of a very few number of ways that this could happen, right?
Right.
It would have to be really high temperatures, like in excess of several thousand degrees.
Yeah. This isn't
And
gonna
it would
happen just
have to
by.
get up there pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that there would have to be extra minerals introduced.
Which you would get with volcanic ash and gases.
Right, right, right.
But also, it's the fact that he was laying down in just the right position.
Right. I mean, the other thing that could happen to get something like classified brains is that there could be a crack in the skull and the ash and stuff could get in, the ash and minerals could get in, and then over time, whatever sort of brain goop that was there could end up petrified,
Yeah.
mineralized by that. But it would be a much slower process, but enough time has passed that that could happen.
Thinking
But
thinking
the
about
way they describe what was left sounds more like flash classified, high
Yeah.
heat. So,
thinking about mummification and one of the steps makes me think that perhaps this happened with other people there, but because they were standing at the time, or they were sitting up,
their brain just
or
ran out of
were
their nose.
basically.
That would track. I mean, also, though, this sounds like there was a certain set of specific circumstances, sibilants.
Yes.
There was a certain set of specific circumstances that led to this one or one of several high heat events.
Well, if all else fails, we can ask Maddie when Maddie shows up the next time about this.
Very true. Very true.
So there's your not quite nightmare fuel, but this is
Not
creepily
quite.
interesting story of the day.
Very creepifyingly interesting.
You know,
Enjoyable.
it
Enjoyable
was
stuff.
weird enough that as I'm muttering about it, Peanut Gallery left his video game to come over and look at my computer to see what I was talking about.
So this next one is that a volcano in your pocket or are you just happy to see? So
Yes.
I don't use volcano brand vapes. I use Pivot.
I don't know if the headline is still the same, but the one that I clicked on was just like, we're gonna phrase it like that. Okay.
Oh yeah, yep. The headline's still
Yep.
the same. Because Yellowstone supervolcano is creating a 19-mile bulge. And that is because it's happy to see you. That was really creepy, Trevor. Say less. Oh, dude, and now it's getting everywhere. Ah,
It's like,
up after yourself. That's gross. In
yeah.
Yellowstone National Park, a bulge the size of 279 football fields has risen an inch since last May. That's an
Getting more
angry
proof.
inch. With no signs of slowing down, the bump that's roughly 19 miles across may cause some to worry that the iconic locale's hibernating supervolcano is ready for an apocalyptic reawakening. Oh, that's gross, Trevor. Don't do that.
Look, they set it
Although,
up. They set it up specifically to have as much innuendo as they could without,
oh yeah. Although
like,
impressed by the situation, the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory's scientist in charge doesn't sound particularly worried.
no, because it's only been an inch in a year, which is not rapid. And they're probably hoping that by the time it does anything, they will be long gone from this earth.
Yeah.
Or as many procrastinators I know say, that's a problem for future, not me.
For future, not me.
Yep.
Well, okay. That was a lot
It
of
was it
fun to
was
read.
it was specifically just because of that particular headline. It was like, okay, this is going in.
Kind of thought so. Kind of
Oh,
thought
yeah.
so. All right. This looks interesting, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Alex Murdaugh continues to insist he didn't kill wife and son as he gets another day in court.
He's um he has filed an appeal for a new trial. And he has grounds to ask for a new trial because of what happened in the last trial. Which
Mm,
I know I talked about this with Peanut Gallery. I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you.
all right.
During his trial, the court clerk basically tried to sway the jury to give a guilty verdict because it would be better for the book she was writing if they did.
Wow. Okay.
So, and normally with something where you're going, oh, we actually have jury tampering. Yeah, definitely we should just do a new trial and do this again. But this particular court previously when this came out, they're like, we don't think that she said too much or enough to the jurors. And then the woman's already had her trial
Mm.
because they did his. He was sentenced. She got found out. She got hit with that. During her thing, it came out that she did more than just mutter at them occasionally. There was some active tampering going on, and so now they're wrangling back and forth and saying, "Oh, we don't think it's bad enough." Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it looks like he's going to get his retrial, which is good.
Okay. Yeah, that is good. That
Well,
is good.
given what I saw of the evidence, the next jury, if it's not tampered with, will probably still convict him because I'm pretty certain he did it.
Okay.
But at least they will do it on an actual basis of the evidence and not with the help of someone that wants a better ending for her book.
I mean, yes. Yes. I'd much rather the course of law not be beholden to any one person's narrative, desired narrative,
It should not depend on a book deal.
right? Especially because,
So,
dude, book deals,
yeah.
not worth it.
No. No.
Not worth it.
No. And the real kicker is
You're
that
not
she was saying,
JKKK Rowling. You're not gonna make that KKK kind of money.
nope. Um, the real kicker is that she was
Sorry, that was a
saying,
lot of fun to say.
I know it was.
She was
Back
saying,
when he was, when everything first happened and he was maybe, they were investigating him and they maybe had only just charged him or they were just getting ready to charge him. She decided she was writing a book about him then and made those comments then.
oh,
Yeah. Like 2 years before they got to his trial, she made these comments. And then repeated them again as they got closer to and started selecting the jury
you know,
and other things.
I'm also kind of the opinion that court clerks shouldn't write true crime novels. Or at least not, not ones that they're directly involved with like that. Like,
At least not for a couple years after things have happened.
right,
There should be.
right.
It shouldn't be a case of, P. Diddy's trial happens today and the court clerk writes a book about it tomorrow. There should be
Right.
some separation.
Now, I mean, yeah, even, I don't know. If the court clerk wants to write a memoir of the transcripts of a thing, I can see that being like come out right after or pretty soon after.
Mm-hmm.
An accounting of what's gone on in the courtroom, because while justice is public,
Mm-hmm.
there is no recording in courtrooms. There is no actual transparency there.
It is becoming different. It depends upon the court, more or less right this second, but it
Yeah,
is becoming.
it is.
There are more and more courtrooms that are live streaming what's going on.
Yeah, which is good. I think that is good. I really do think that is wonderful. I think that I understand why they don't want general public recording devices in the courtroom, because there are sometimes when certain basically witness testimony, they
Mm-hmm.
need to protect witnesses, things like that, and protect innocence. Like if somebody's falsely accused, if somebody is falsely accused and
Mm-hmm.
up there falsely, but it has become well, I don't know. I don't know what it's become. I think
Mm-hmm.
I I don't think anybody's. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Before I make a statement, I just think it should be more transparent. I'm not
like I
not
said, they're
expert in
working on it.
this, right? Not an expert in this. I
Um,
just have an opinion.
federal
So,
federal courts, things like Supreme Court stuff, you are not getting actual video footage, but it is audio recorded, so you can hear what's going on and you can access those recordings, and that's becoming more prevalent across everything. State and local courts, it varies, but more and more are either live streaming, which it says do not record, but it's on YouTube, which means people are going to do what people are going to do. And also, companies like Law and Crime and Court TV are gaining entry to more and more and more rooms, and they're being able to broadcast. And to go along with that, you've got court YouTubers that focus specifically on court proceedings being allowed in to broadcast or record more and more frequently. So it's not necessarily there now, but it is getting less
right.
opaque than
So
it was.
the need for a court clerk to keep an account and release that is becoming less and less. I mean, court clerks, of course, should keep an account for the court.
Mhm.
However, the need for this woman to have been writing this book is diminishing even more.
I mean, she would
That's
have
where I
access
was
to the
going with all of
behind the
that
scenes
originally.
thing,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, he
All
he
right.
looks to be getting a new trial, which is a good thing.
That is a good thing. Uh, having a uh, having a trial that reflects the proper procedures of law uh, are, I think, more. I think is one of the more important things there.
And I will note, we have had several high-profile cases in the last 3 years that have ended unexpectedly on a hung jury or
Mm.
some other thing because the proper procedures were not followed and they got called on it. And they got called on it on camera by the public.
Okay.
I mean, one of the biggest and most notable ones was the Alec Baldwin trial.
True. There is that.
They are still arguing with the police are going round and round, and people are still getting fired over that, as they should.
As they should. As they should. Well, all right. Let's move on to our last two stories of the week. Something a little more uplifting here.
Yep.
Uh,
Like I said, the two stories are connected.
okay. Something uplifting and local.
Mm-hmm.
Albemarle County high school students walk out of class to protest ICE.
Yep.
Hundreds of students at Albemarle High School walked out of class midday Friday to protest against ICE. This is from Kate Nuchterlein.
So I can't pronounce it either.
WVIR.
Yep.
Hundreds of students at Albemarle High School and Monticello High School walked out of class on Friday, February 13th to protest against U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement, ICE. They join thousands of high school students across the nation that have staged protests in response to the Trump administration's ongoing immigration crackdown, including Charlottesville high school students earlier this week. Students at Albemarle High School walked out of class at about 11 a.m., telling 29 News they wanted to make the younger generation's voices heard. A lot of people were being silent about what's going on, and even if you're not actively involved, even if you're not an immigrant, it still affects people around you, said 11th grade student Linnea. I was kind of losing hope that our generation didn't really care as much, but now seeing everybody here, it makes me really happy. And it's just wonderful to be here with everybody. With chants and cheers, the group marched down Hydraulic Road to the shops at Stonefield, then piled onto the pedestrian bridge on Route 29. Hazel Vasquez, another 11th grade student, says she was proud to see the number of students that showed up for the protest. There's a lot of students that are not Hispanic, and it just feels very nice to see that we have support, Vasquez said. I wanted to do it for my community, AHS student Catherine Riley said. There are so many people, so many hard-working people, and their families are getting ripped apart. So it means a lot to me to be able to support. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And there were
That is there were. I'm sorry. What were you saying? Hey,
so that
Chris.
they walked from the high school out here, and they went. They aimed for the bridge at Stonefield, which is now completed. And anybody that watched
Uh-huh.
our coverage of the protests over the summer and saw the construction, you can now stand on the bridge over top of traffic and be out of reach of cars doing that now.
You can, although it's less disruptive. And I
This
argue
is
that part of
true.
protest is being disruptive.
This is true, but these are still kids, and I'd prefer them to not be in the traffic.
I mean, granted, because drivers around here.
Yes. But then that ties in with the second story,
Yes. So,
which features on a response because, as that story mentioned, this was not the first one this week that kids did. Because we
Charlottesville
had one on
police
Wednesday.
investing.
Sorry.
Charlottesville police Charlottesville police investigate potentially threatening online comments against youth protesters. Charlottesville, Virginia, WVIR. Charlottesville police are investigating comments on a recent post about a school walkout protest. CPD had posted on social media about traffic concerns around the protests that took place Monday. And some comments on the post are now being investigated as threatening to make sure none of them rise to the level of a crime. The post has received numerous comments, some of which have been reported as threatening, according to a CPD news release. In the event a comment rises to the level of a crime, it will be handled as any other criminal investigation, and appropriate charges could be filed. If you see a comment that involves a credible threat, call the CPD non-emergency line. So I mean, I'm glad they're taking that seriously. On the other hand,
Yes.
and I mean, I think it's entirely possible. Man, I thought you said this was going to be a little uplifting. I didn't know it was going to end like that. I do, any threat against children should be taken seriously. On the other hand, wherever like the internet is just full of people who say awful things, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah, you're not wrong. It was Facebook
Yeah.
posts. Specifically,
Oh.
specifically, and this is the stupid thing. Charlottesville police put out a Facebook post, among other things. They did other social media posts warning people about the protest. So when they were going a specific direction, they knew to watch out for kids walking from school. They put out a public safety message about the protest so people didn't get hurt.
I mean, that's great, but also no. Like, that's just asking for trolling.
Which they unfortunately got, and several of the trolls chose to do things like mention Heather Heyer.
Right. Of course they did. Of course they would. I mean,
And the way they did
it
it was
writes
definitely more
itself.
threat.
Oh, I'm sure.
So those are the messages that are getting investigated, I'm thinking and hoping, because those are the
I'm
ones that I
sure they
reported.
are. Okay, that's fair.
Because I was reading the post and then I'm scrolling down to see what's going on, and I'm seeing these messages. I'm like, oh, that's not cool. Report,
Yeah.
report, report. This is not
We
okay.
we are not gonna read through those. I don't
No, we
feel
are
the
not.
need to subject myself to the kind of trash that is out there on the internet. I
We
know
can't read
what's
through them
out
now
there.
anyway.
Right.
I think they have
I mean,
been. If they have not been removed, they've been hidden.
disabled. I'm
I don't know.
saying,
You can't read them
man,
now.
like
But
on a public safety announcement like that, disable comments. Just disable comments when you make the announcement. Like, don't give them a place to be edge lords, because they will.
true, true. But at least some of
You
the
know,
edgier edge lords that were very very angry. Do not have kids in school. Do not have any. We're not traveling through the area, but they're choosing to be on there and be so very very angry for something that did not affect them one iota. It's like,
right.
okay, maybe you need some attention of this variety.
I mean, they obviously need some attention. They're asking for attention. They're going, "Hey, pay attention to me." I feel like no one's paying attention to me.
And if
But
it had been
like,
on any other post, if it had been like on the one for the news,
right.
if it had been on the one for Indivisible Charlottesville, if it had been anywhere else, they probably would have made a comment and been unnoticed. But they did it on the freaking police account
Yeah, well,
post.
yeah. I never said they're smart. I just said they're jerks.
So,
Those two things are almost mutually exclusive.
to for Friday's walkout protest, they had a police escort.
Well, good.
So,
Good.
unlike most protests where you've got the police just kind of hanging around and not really doing anything, they actually had what amounted to a police escort to go protest other government officials.
Good. I feel like Charlottesville police need to step the freak up.
Yeah.
They are, I have a mixed history because Charlottesville police have both been really nice to me, but I have
Mm,
also seen them screw up terribly.
yes.
Actually, no. Albemarle police have been really nice to me. Charlottesville police have been
Yes.
so. Yeah, they need to redeem themselves. They need to put some effort into being good stewards of the
Of the community.
community. That
Well,
being said,
they're
I have met like one or two Charlottesville police who were cool.
I have to.
But
There's
this
one.
probably would have been Albemarle, wouldn't it? Because this is in the county.
It is and
This
it
is
isn't because it would have
technically in
gone
the
from
city.
the county to the city because where Stonefield is
Oh,
technically part of the city.
is it? I thought that was county at that point. No, I guess it
The
isn't. I
lines,
guess
the
it
lines
isn't.
are weird, but yeah.
It's a little further up that, and like the city also extends further up the on the northbound side, and the
Mm-hmm.
county extends further down on the southbound side.
Yep. So
And yeah, it's a really weird spot for
the
that.
lines are very bizarre. It's not just
They
your
are.
nice, Monopoly squares where you can point. This is the actual lines. Like no, no.
No, no. It's almost like Charlottesville and Albemarle didn't really have planners. They just had a bunch of rich people who got together and said, "Well, I want this."
That's exactly what happened. Um, let's
It just
see.
so
And
happens
other
that one of them thought that he could be a civil engineer, even though he really was just another example of,
of nope.
I was going to say, of rewarding white mediocrity.
Of nope. Um,
For those who don't know what I'm saying, I'm calling Thomas Jefferson mediocre. Man had no original ideas. He stole every idea he had. He was not a brilliant inventor. He's not a brilliant engineer. He stole ideas and then kind of made them work.
let's see. In other sort of recent local news, did we mention that the governor has issued a not proclamation. Basically, she's ended the contract between ICE and Virginia police.
Oh, good, good, good. I'm not
The only thing,
surprised.
no,
This,
so
yeah.
she's done that. Amazon is facing backlash from Flock cameras and their use by ICE, so they are dissolving their partnership with Flock cameras.
Oh, good.
The city of Charlottesville has discontinued their contract with them as of beginning of December, and all of the Flock cameras in the area should be gone. If not by now, then within the, I want to say by March.
Okay.
Stanton is following suit. There are several other localities that are looking at Flock and how they store and how they share their data, and they're like, no, we're not okay with this. Goodbye. So they're losing citywide contracts left and right, as well as their partnership with Amazon.
Okay.
Which, after the story of what, year before last, of the Texas trooper that followed a woman through like 5 different states using the cameras, trying to charge her with something that was not illegal where she was at the time.
Oh, wow.
And then supposedly
Wow.
said that he was doing it because he was worried for her safety. It's like, no, you were tracking her through the different cameras and the different databases to a state
What was he?
where women's health care is legal,
Ah.
so you could try to charge her with something that is illegal in your state currently. Like, no.
Thank you for the sub, Lockpick. Much love. Much love. It's okay, Lockpick. We just like it when you show up.
Yes, we do.
It's okay for you to come late, as long as you come. Can I make my mic a tiny bit louder?
No.
Is that better? Discord is way louder than me. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Alright. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's try that, too. Pointing the mic at my face might help.
Might.
Yeah. So. So.
Like I care, Lockpick.
Well. Yeah, you did just actually show up, just in time for us to pretty much be done, though.
Oh. You remember the raccoon from the ABC store in Richmond?
Oh, yeah, the trashed panda.
They have issued a new round of T-shirts for this weekend that are still benefiting the animal shelter out there.
Oh, good. What are they? What's the?
They've colored everything in pink gradients except for the raccoon and says, "I'm drunk on your love."
Oh, that's adorable.
It
That's
is.
adorable. So yeah, by the way, let's touch on today being today,
Yes.
the day
Yes.
after Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Let me start by saying that any day that starts with a saint, probably not going to be one of my favorite days. I'm probably in some way too woke to enjoy that. But also Valentine's Day in general, just not my day. I know I'm a romantic, and it would seem like, oh, the romance of the day should be. But I'm also a tragic romantic, which means I've spent more Valentine's Days alone and sad than I have spent with someone and happy. Also, there is What problem do I have with a holiday where the purpose is to buy a cheap card, a couple of flowers, some chocolate, and then I get sex for it? Because that's not my experience with the day. It has not been that way for me. It's very much a day about, about couples. And while I'm try not to be bitter about that, I mean, every day is a day about couples in my life. It's like, really? Do I really have to? Let's get it on. It'll be over shortly with a card, flowers, and some chocolate. Let's get it on. That's good. That's fine.
I told you about that possibility of kidnapping there.
It's only kidnapping if I don't like it.
This is true. This is true. If he shows up and you willingly go, that's you willingly going.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, otherwise it's con non-con. Also C and C. But role play a struggle, don't ruin his kidnapping. Exactly. It the other part of this is in the times that I've been with someone, I feel like just getting them some chocolates, a card, and some flowers really cheapens the whole experience of what I feel for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of have a thing about, like, I mean, yes, sure. I don't mind showing someone going extra on Valentine's Day. But also, I should be showing them I love them every day of the year. And getting charged a lot of extra money to show someone how much I love them feels quite commercial. And that is, as an anti-capitalist, that feels wrong.
Fair enough.
One of my big complaints about Christmas is how commercial it is. I mean, other than it was a holiday stolen from my people in general.
Oh, I'm sending you this one, Trevor.
There's a lot of commerciality to and commercializing love. And I find commercializing love distasteful.
I sent you something that you might want to read.
I just saw that. I'm a little worried.
But it speaks about the commercialism of Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is so commercial, let's not lose track of the real meaning of this special day. The day Native Hawaiians stabbed British Captain James Cook right through his colonizing effing neck on February 14th, 1779.
Here you go.
So, yeah,
commercial at all.
Right. But suddenly Trevor becomes a fan of this day. Summer and I basically agreed to just do cheap and sappy things that don't cost money because we both think it's a load of BS. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when you hear what they did to the real Saint Valentine, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I am kind of about that because he was interrupting a pagan festival. Leave us alone, or we will do horrible, horrible things to you.
Mm,
I think my underlying problem with the day is the social pressure to be attached, the social pressure to not be alone. And it is hard enough to be okay with being alone in general. For some people, it's not. Some people are fine with being alone. But some people it is hard on. I've had to do a lot of work to be okay being alone. And I'm still not like, okay. I'm okay. But then having this social, a very strong push, you know, to really be, don't be alone on this day or you're a sad loser.
yeah.
And then to have to say Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, even though no one's your Valentine and it's not a happy day for you. It is. It's a little off putting. It's like, just don't. Just leave me out of it. Can't you just leave me out of this? Like, I'm cool with going out to eat somewhere and seeing couples being happy and then all the rest of the time. But, like, do you have to beam this into my life? And it is this conformity to the status quo that gets forced on us all the time about so many things. That even more so is I think the underlying thing that bothers me. The underlying the force to be, or the pressure to be, the pressure to be normal, to be cishet, to be a parent, to be all of these, any of these things, you know, from society is so prevalent that I think any experience of it, any extra experience of that kind of pressure can be angering. I'm one of the ones fine with being alone, but I hear you. I will never visit Disney parks because of that whole happiness means having a family theme they have going on. Yeah. Oh, I'll be your Valentine because I love you, brother. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. Mwah. Thank you, Lockpick. This this pressure to conform, this pressure to fit into society, so that this pressure is there so that you can continue to prop up society and the societal systems. Do you like flowers and chocolate? They come with a card. I do, Lockpick. I do. So that's my feelings on this day. It's just such a it's it's such a fraught day. It can be so fraught for so many. So yeah, that's
That
but
is
also
understandable.
today is National Organ Donors Day, which is only fraught for half the people involved.
I mean,
The other half, the people get to live long, happy, full lives with their new organs.
see, and I'm remembering an old comic, and the person standing there with the cooler saying, "You didn't say they had to be mine."
Right? Today is also Library Lovers Day.
Yes.
So go
Tomorrow
out
is
and
half
love your
price candy
library
day.
today. Huh?
So tomorrow is
Tomorrow
half
is
price candy day.
half price candy day?
Yeah.
Ooh, oh yeah, it really is, isn't it? I keep forgetting about that. I am gonna try and avoid. I am gonna get me a bag of those chalk flavored hearts, those little pressed candy. I do
Yep.
love those. I do love the way they taste. They taste like sugar chalk. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you bite them just right, they kind of squeak a little.
They do. They do. No. I thoroughly appreciate the number of places like zoos that have looked at today and said, not everybody has someone they like today. They have plenty of people that they dislike, and we
Oh yeah,
can
naming food animals after.
naming bugs for the lizard enclosure,
Right.
naming fish for whatever. My favorite this year that I saw was a cat rescue. That for a $5 donation, they would write your ex's name on a jagged art paper and put it in the litter box.
Nice. Ha ha. I like that one. I like that one.
Yes, I was like, that's a smart thing for a cat rescue to do. That's a good one.
Yep. I was a little afraid of where that was going there for a second. Like, that could have gone really dark.
I mean, yes.
But I might need to turn Latte's box into a shrine to my ex.
I mean, that's fair. I've also seen some vets doing a spay and neuter special today.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
I'm already fixed. I don't need no help.
But yeah, the litter box and the one zoo that started off by naming cockroaches and feeding them to frogs on camera for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Live stream 24/7. Oh, of Latte's litter box. I feel like that should violate TOS somehow. I don't quite know how, but I feel like it would.
I don't know. Can you set up a camera to like auto blur with specific movement?
Maybe, but I don't know. I'll pixelate her butt if it's ever on screen.
Oh, Lockpick, I have to send this to you. There's a T-shirt that I want.
Well, alright, friends. It is getting on round about time to be done. Is there an...
I don't know, probably. We've got enough other weird stuff that AI does and doesn't do very well that that's probably got to be one of them.
an AI starfish censoring filter. Oh, lockpick. Oh, lockpick. Alright. Well, thank you everyone for being here. On that thought, I gotta call it in. That is
Yeah.
just terrifying. That we even need one. Although it's not surprising now that I think about it. Alright, well, thank you, Kat, for being here. Thank you, Lockpick. Thank you, Chris into 386. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Thank you, everyone in the chat. That is everyone in the chat. Thank you, all you lurkers. Stick around for the raid. Much love. And now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all.